Written by Stephen Cosgrove, illustrated by Philip Newson. Millions of years ago, the earth was always warm. All creatures, dinosaurs, and others that roamed the earth enjoyed the good lives. And then the earth became bitterly cold. Lakes and rivers froze solid. The snow began to fall and become so deep that it compacted, turning into massive frozen mountains called glaciers. These glaciers continued to grow and grow. Soon, the earth was nearly completely covered in ice. A winter chill like no others. The earth in icy winter. Crystalline snow blanked the earth, but it was like a white rose, beautiful, but with bitterly long thorns. It was coming of the ice age. The dinosaur and other creatures were able to survive the sharp thorns of the ice age. But wait a minute, but some with bitterly long and cold forms of the ice age. But some creatures did survive. There were great bears with thick layers of fat and heavy coats of fur. There were woolly mammoths, elephant-like creatures, covered in long, thick hair. Their tusks were long and curved, well suited to move chunks of ice and snow as they searched for grasses and beneath the frozen snow and ice. And here, too, were the mighty saber-toothed tigers, heavy of coat and strong of limb. They were called saber-toothed because their two upper fangs were curved like a sword or saber. There were hunters who preyed upon those creatures that lived on the edge of the glaciers. They ate anything and everything that they could catch. One of their favorite food was woolly mammoth. Now, the mammoth may have been the tiger's favorite food, but it was also the most dangerous. For you see, the mammoth was just that mammoth. They were big and had thick hides covered by long woolly coats. Some of them weighed over a ton and could easily step on a saber-toothed tiger. More importantly, if a mammoth was mad, its long crutches could be great weapons. The saber-toothed tigers contented themselves with snacking on the smaller creatures that lived on around the blue ice glacier still. They looked for any opportunity to have big woolly mammoth male. They watched for the old, furry, and especially delighted by the baby mammoth. On a blustery cold day, colder than most others, a baby saber-toothed tiger was born in a cave near the heart of the blue ice glacier. His coat was thick. He had two large eyes. For the most part, he looked like any other toothed tiger, but he had two of the longest saber teeth that you have ever seen. Proudly, his mother and his father named him Fang. Considerably not far away, in a snowfield on the other side of a blue ice glacier, a mother mammoth gave birth to a new calf. The calf's tusks, full time, showed great promise for curve and length. His ears and trunk were short, but that was to be expected. The hair that covered his body was long and thick. Surely his mammoth would be warm on the coldest day. His parents named him Woolly. Life was very hard until this time of ice cold. There was danger everywhere around the glacier. There were deep crevasses hidden by thin layers of delicate show that formed false bridges. You should choose to walk across one of these bridges. The choice could be very wrong. The bridges of snow could collapse, and you would fall off to the bottom of the deep drifts with sheer walls of ice that could not be climbed. Fang and Woolly grew, and although surrounded by danger, they filled their lives with adventure. They were young and full of life, and every day was a new experience. And so they grew. Woolly would charge through the deeps of snow that blanketed the snowfield, exploring out on the other side. He played and played, but always under the watchful eyes of the entire herd of mammoths. Fang lived inside the ice cave and only ventured out into slippery surface where his parents were there to watch over him. He would scramble and skid, chasing after a ball of hot black snow, or stalking the shadows of his parents as they walked the ridge. The saber-toothed tigers were always looked toward the snowfield and herd of mammoths. Food was scarce on the glacier, and the thought of a meal kept them on the prowl. They would crouch behind boulders above the field and wait for opportunity, the chance that never seemed to come. If it was possible, it seemed to be getting even colder around the Blue Ice Glacier. Even the hotly around the Blue Ice Glacier. Even the hardy grasses that grew beneath the snow had become scared. The herd had moved the snow in the field from over the grass. There was nothing left to eat, so it came to be the mammoths had to move away from the glacier. They began a migration toward the south to find warmth and food. The glacier formed a mighty eel around the snowfield. The fastest way to the south would force the mammoths to climb up and over a steep, narrow sections of massive ice because of the cold lack and food. It was the risk they had to take. Woolly, being the youngest was placed in the middle of the herd. The snow was deep, but the mammoth's feet tramped the snow into a backpath, making the going easy for Woolly. Together as one, they moved from the snowfield and into the blue ice glacier. As they started down the other side, they realized there was something watching from the ice cliff above. The scent of saber-toothed tiger was heavy in the air. The mammoth in the lead began swinging their massive tusks from side to side, trumpet a challenge to the hunters above. But food had been very scarce for the saber-toothed tiger, and they knew that their only source of food was migrating. With a roar shattered the stillness of the day, they attacked. When they leaped onto the rocks, hopping into the firing herd, into scattering to make the weak more vulnerable, the weakest, the meal they sought. Was in the middle. It was a small mammoth named Woolly. As the herd began to run, Woolly stumbled along, his ear extended in fear. A large cat charged, leaping onto the back of one of the older females, and the back of the running herd. She bellowed her anger and pain, pulled from the safety of the herd. Woolly knew that it was his mother. He turned out she sounded and ran out of the safety of the herd, just as the group of thundered across a snow bridge above the deep crevasse. Meanwhile, Woolly's mother, strong as she could be, shook and rolled her shoulder to free herself from the clinging base, but the tigers had teeth and claws buried in the thick hide. and they were not easily thrown. No one knows who could have won the battle between the tiger and the mammoth crown, for, for at that moment Woolly raced back up to the snow trail, his tiny curved tusks raised for a battle. The saber-toothed tigers had what they wanted. The Witch was now isolated from the herd. They lifted the females back and crouched facing the calf. The large female cast hissed and hunched her massive, the coils of hair reaching her mouth open was wide, exposing the lower razor-sharp teeth. Her long fangs curved down from above. Wally stick to a stop. He was turned to run, only to face the male, was crouching behind, waiting to attack. Willie was trapped. Fear overcame him, and then he stood there frozen still, his chunks wiped back and forth in the snow, matching the angry snap of the cat's tail. Then, as all just seemed lost, this was all safe. The ice shook the thunder feet of Woolie's mother. She had shaken off the pain of her wounds, and the attack became the attacker. With her trunk, she grabbed the female saber-toothed tiger from behind and lifted her high in the air. She dashed into a cat of the ice, one thunderous step, and the tiger was dead. She quickly turned her attention to the larger male saber-toothed tiger, who swung at Woolly with a massive claw paw. Woolly had backed away just in time, but his side had been raked with the jagged claws. Woolly's mother loaded her massive high-domed skull and charged. The saber-toothed tiger skull and charged. The saber-toothed tiger, focusing on the meal at hand, never saw her coming. The head smashed into his side as he attempted to finish Woolly off. Using all her massive weight, she pressed down to the saber-toothed tiger, and then instantly he too was dead. Blood dripping around her side with the wounds of her back. She turned to see if there was more, but there was nothing except for a more frightened mammoth calf.